We gather here every year in the Japanese-American Historical Plaza to commemorate the lives lost at Hiroshima and Nagasaki on this week in 1945. This year, we will also learn of our region's role in the deadly attack on Nagasaki. Materials for that bomb were created at Hanford Nuclear Reservation near Richland, Washington, roughly 250 miles from where we stand today. The tragedy lives not only in the past with the bombing, but also the present and future. For the Hanford Nuclear Reservation is considered the most contaminated site in the Western Hemisphere. It's a toxic cycle of nuclear weapons. Long after the devastation these weapons leave in their wake when they're deployed, the process continues to endanger surrounding communities and causes immeasurable damage to the earth.
It's my pleasure to say a few words about Dr. Charles Grossman, known as Charlie Grossman, who passed away a few weeks ago after a life dedicated to medicine, peace, and the abolition of nuclear weapons. It's a great honor for me to do this. I'd like to draw your attention to a picture of Charlie that was taken recently, I believe, and printed in China. And there's enough information on our website about him and a wonderful obituary written by his family in the Oregonian last Sunday that I hope most of you saw. Charlie was born, I believe, in New Jersey 98 years ago. He got his medical degree at NYU and later went on to get some postgraduate training at Yale. While at Yale, he was involved with a team that conducted the first successful use of penicillin in the United States. He also wrote a number of scientific papers, including alerting us to the dangers of Hanford as one of the first people to write, along with other members of PSR, about the danger of radiation leaking from Hanford and the health effects of that. And later was one of the founding members of the Northwest Radiation Health Alliance. Along with other career achievements, he was one of the half dozen or so physicians that came to the Northwest and founded what later became Kaiser Permanente, or Northwest Permanente, the physicians. Something close to my heart as a practicing Kaiser physician for many, many years. And Charlie remained in practice until just a few months ago, when he finally retired. His peace work, as I say, was a lifetime of dedication. He had met his wife, Helen, at Yale, and together they worked for peace tirelessly over their life. and again the abolition of nuclear weapons. Charlie believed in a people-to-people way of establishing world peace, and he started to take Americans to China, I think beginning in the 70s, and did yearly trips thereafter. And finally, I think it was in 2010, was awarded a special title by the Chinese of Friendship Ambassador, one of only 5 Americans ever to get such recognition. He also worked tirelessly with the International Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear War, which, as you know, is our international affiliate, and he was awarded the Albert Schweitzer Peace Award by them. He also, from National PSR, was given the Broad Street Pump Award, which for those of you in medicine know is quite a distinguished award. The Oregon PSR gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award recently, and he continued to be on our board until very recently. He was, of course, a founding member of PSR and very active in this event for its 40 years of existence. So it's a sad but great honor for me to dedicate today's event in the memory of Charlie. He remained active, as I say, right up until the end. This year he swam in the Willamette River and in fact helped organize this very event you're here at today. I think most of you got a letter that was edited and signed by Charlie inviting you to this event.
Peace song. It is sung in Hiroshima every year at a very early hour of the day as they commemorate the changes of their lives that happened so many years ago. And what the song's intent is not only to build on the hope for tomorrow, but to make sure that there is peace throughout the world and there is friendship helping one another, not only in Hiroshima, not only in Japan, but everywhere around the world.
My lineage comes from the Columbia River. Yesterday, I buried my elder that taught me a lot about my history and connection to this place. So to honor his spirit and show him gratitude, I dedicate this to him and to all of our elders and ancestors that have taught us about our history and our identity and connection to this land. Edupti chushtich naika itgulcham naika naika itgulcham nich klauet in minaimuma naika ich chliu bashta nemt engi Kayla Godowa-Tufti. I would like to begin by first acknowledging my presence in what I believe to be Clackamas Multnomah territory. Second, I would like to acknowledge, show my respect, and sincerely apologize to everyone who has ever been affected by radioactive extraction and nuclear production. The first atomic bomb was detonated at the Trinity test site in New Mexico. But the plutonium used to make these weapons and the facility used to process the raw plutonium came out of my territory. And for that, I'm truly apologetic for all of your hardships and the intergenerational conflict that nuclear production has inflicted upon your families in the past, present, and for many generations to come. I'd like to acknowledge and show my utmost gratitude to my elders, family, and teachers who have been very patient with me and sharing their knowledge and perspectives. I'd like to thank them for helping me to form such strong views and opinions on these topics. I'd also like to make it clear that I don't speak for all Native people. I do not speak on behalf of my nation. I'm but one treaty rights holder who believes in our cultural teachings, unwritten and written laws. And I also believe in advocacy for the Columbia River Treaty Tribe's rights to our homeland to be honored by the United States government in regards to Hanford and other industry that continuously takes advantage of our waters and homelands. I'm a federally recognized tribal member of the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs, Oregon, and a descendant of treaty signers of the 1855 Mid-Columbia Treaty. The Mid-Columbia River Treaty, ratified in 1859, relinquished 10 million acres of homeland to the United States government in exchange for 64,000-acre parcel dubbed the Warm Springs Reservation. On my father's side especially, I come from women leadership. In our traditions, we are taught the responsibility of women to carry the water. We are told we are the life givers, just like the water, and this is where my passion for water advocacy stems from, I believe, from the responsibility and obligation I have as a woman to care for our water. I was raised off of the Warm Springs Reservation in Eugene, Oregon, after my father's passing early on in my life. I grew up disconnected from his family, the reservation, and the teachings of my culture, and am now making an effort to learn in my adulthood. The knowledge that has been shared with me I hold very close in my heart and do my best to participate in tradition, accordance with the land, and show my respect and gratitude to our longhouse ways from the Columbia River Plateau. In Chiwana, Wimoch, Pabahudu, the Columbia River. Since time immemorial, this has been our home. Our elders tell us stories of our creation from this river. They tell us of a time when there were so many salmon you could walk across the river on their backs. We come from the stars, we come from the land, we come from Shachel, Nami, Piakmi, our creator. Our river was once among the largest trading places in the entire Northwest. From Canada to the plains, our neighbors came from all over to trade for salmon and various goods our area provided. My family on our Wasco side comes from a place called the Long Narrows or 5 Mile Rapids, present-day the Dalles, Oregon, about 15 miles downriver from the largest historic trading site in the Northwest, Celilo Falls. Unlike Celilo, 5 Mile Rapids stretched for approximately 8 miles upriver from the Dalles and could be fished nearly year-round. This location made our Wascopum roots very prosperous. The health of our people and the wealth of our people has always been contingent on the land, and our ancestors knew this, which is the reason we have seasonal ceremonies, and especially first food ceremony, to show our reverence for the sustenance our homeland provides, and to show our gratitude that year after year, the salmon, the roots, the berries, the deer come back and sustain our people. Hanford Reach maintains the largest run of fall Chinook that remains in the world. When considering land to construct Hanford, Hanford Reach had the conditions needed to build reactors for plutonium extraction, an abundance of clear, cool water to cool reactors, and an area that would provide power. The Hanford area was deemed an isolated wasteland, and the people were expendable. Cancers among rural, typically indigenous communities are prominent in the plateau and on the reservation. Chemical burns on Fisher people's bodies have been reported as far downriver as Bonneville Pool. Lesions on fish have now been recorded for at least 2 decades. Loss of flavor, curved spines, confused fish that don't know whether to become a steelhead or a salmon. In south central Washington, specifically Yakima, Benton, and Franklin counties, mothers have had unusually high numbers of a fatal birth defect which results from incomplete formation of the brain during the first month of pregnancy. Though not traced back to Hanford as of yet, I can't help but wonder, considering historic reports of birth defects found in residents close to other nuclear production plants and radioactive waste facilities around the world. Climate change in the age of Obama is a crucial turning point in our history as human beings. The largest oil terminal in the Northwest is proposed to be approved for construction on our river in Vancouver, Washington, railing fracked and tar sands oil straight through the gorge. Much of this oil comes from North Dakota, fracked Bakken oil, the same type involved in the explosion in Quebec. Since being approved unanimously by Washington State Commissioners, the lease proposal now goes to the desk of Governor Inslee, the same man making what I deem to be anti-Indigenous statements in regards to Hanford contamination and leakage of waste holding tanks. He publicly states the waste may reach the river someday, giving the public the impression that Hanford is under control and poses no immediate health risk. Since the origin of Hanford, reactors have dumped their waste straight into the river. Injection wells have been drilled and injected waste straight into the earth, and the trenches have long since leaked and contaminated the ground. If that isn't a health risk, I don't know what is. Industry continuously abuses our waters and homelands for an economy that does not act in accordance with the native ecosystems. Genocide is not a part of the past for us, it is our present. In Obama's recent climate change address, he spins yarns of divestment in fossil fuels and advocates for increase in nuclear production. Though I do only speak for myself, perhaps many of us share the sentiment when I say, we are here to remind you, nuclear is not the way. We are all living testaments to why radioactive materials belong in the ground to never be extracted. Not for power, not for war, not for so-called peace. There's no excuse for extraction, and I'm not fooled by claims of job creation either. To quote a friend, no jobs on a dead planet. According to a study conducted by the Yakima Nation and the EPA from 1996 to 1998, U.S. general population eats 1 meal of fish per month, or 6 pounds per year. Treaty tribes eat approximately 8 meals of fish per month, or 50 pounds per year. Traditional river people eat approximately 48 meals per month, or 313 pounds per year. The chemicals these fish are exposed to are toxic, and studies have shown them to cause cancer, damage organ systems such as kidneys, and cause neurobehavioral effects, including learning and cognitive impairment, curvy spines, change in tissue color, flavor or loss, and tumors are evident when speaking with people who fish, handle, and prepare fish. These conclusions have been based upon samples taken from various species consumed by Columbia River Treaty tribes and based upon personal testimony from Fisher people. We cannot do it alone. No one can. Everyone must work together to save our home. Alliance is key. When they eventually forced us onto this reservation, our forefathers made the provision in the treaty that we will forever be able to utilize this land we once roamed. They said until the end of time we can gather our foods and medicines, and we won't accept that land unless it's clean. Russell Jim. Since time immemorial until time infinite, we want our homelands to forever be healthy and habitable and sacred for all generations to come. Ticha min gishmi sunwit name awit amanwit. At the time of creation, Creator placed us in this land, and He gave us the voice of this land, and that is our law. On these kinds of issues, not only legal advocacy and alliance, but keep that prayer in your heart that we can heal our land, that we can heal each other, that we can heal our people. And because we need everything that we can get. We need all the help that we can get. I really appreciate this gathering and to see all kinds of different alliances happen. A lot of miracles at work, so thank you. Kwasla.
The second song, Prayer of the Children, actually was written to commemorate and to remember the children in a different part of the world. But for me, it means all children everywhere, hearing those cries and being that face of love and support and peace that all children everywhere can see.
Can you hear the prayer of the children on bended knee in the shadow of an unknown room, empty eyes with no more tears to cry, turning heavenward toward the light, crying, "Who will help me to see the morning light of one more day? But if I should die before I wake, I pray my soul to take." Can you feel the hearts of the children aching for home, for something of their very own, reaching hands with nothing to hold on to, but hope for a better day, a better day. Crying, "Who will help me to feel the love again in my own land? But if unknown roads lead away from home, give me loving arms, pray from harm." Can you hear the voice of the children softly plead for silence in their shattered